Hello everyone. My name is VINODKUMAR RAJENDRAN. My metric number is B0918103441. I would like to present about my Bachelor Degree Project 1 entitled Analysis of Water Quality of Developed Water Filtration System. Dr. ABDUL MUNIR is my supervisor and my co-supervisor is Encik Muhammad ARIZAM. Firstly, introduction. Water filtration has advanced with the knowledge and technology as the time goes on. To deliver clean and safe water, it is advisable to use water filtration systems. Water filtration can be stated as an operation towards eliminating or decreasing the convergence of particles including airborne particles, viruses, microscopic organisms, parasites and other undesirable substances and natural toxins from tainted water. Water filtration is important because water can have contaminated or polluted with illness-causing substances. Water filtration is a fundamental piece of water treatment cycle to make the water to be consumable. There were people nearly 4,000 years back trusted if the water seems cloudless, it was secure to be consumed, but it developed to bring different type of sickness and infections when directly drinked. Afterward, in 5th century, Hippocrates was quickly to build up the idea of going water through a cloth to eliminate residue and sludge. The Egyptians decontaminated the drinking water by utilizing various of techniques to kill hurtful microorganisms during the 3rd and 4th century. They heated up the water and warmed it in the sun or immersed blistering iron into it. The Egyptians also filtered the contamination from the water by filtering it through the sand and gravel. Over the following few centuries, filtration methods transformed very slightly until 1627 when Sir Robert Bacon produced impressive progressions with sand filtration to dispose of salt from ocean water. In 18th century, numerous countries started utilizing filters built from charcoal, sponge and wool to remove contaminants in water. Moreover, on 19th century, British researcher John Snow made a significant disclosure when he established that the cholera was spread through water. A few analyzers he additionally found that chlorine could be utilized to purify water, bringing about the utilization of chlorination as a famous type of water filtration. By the 20th century, technologically evolved nations had set up guidelines that set at least standard of water quality. Water quality cannot be designed based on its appearance. To analyze water quality, water pollutant levels, basic parameters are examined. The water will be purified and tested to determine the water quality above the water quality standard before it reaches the consumer. Moving on to problem statement. So, what is the problem that lead to this study? Floods in Malaysia are becoming normal catastrophic events in Malaysia which happen particularly during the monsoon season every year. The east coast of Peninsular Malaysia is the most inclined to flooding during the north monsoon season from October to March. Due to the severe rain, a greater number of individuals were affected in several states. A flood evacuation center was constructed to offer flood victims with a temporary secured place. Water supply is vital for the flood victims in the evacuation center. Insufficient water supply can lead to many problems. The more the flood victims, the more the water supply is needed. Nextly, moving on to objective and scope. What are the focus of this study? For the objective, first of all, to develop traditional water filtration system. Secondly, to develop emergency water supply system for flood victims. Moving on to scope. This traditional water filtration system is mainly designed to filter flood water to give emergency water supply to the flood victims in the evacuation center. This system will be easier to bring and assemble, so it can be easily used at flood evacuation center. The water filtered through the system is only can be used for bathing, washing and cleaning. It is not suitable for drinking. Water quality testing such as dissolved oxygen, biochemical oxygen demand, chemical oxygen demand, ammonia nitrogen, suspended solid, turbidity and pH test will be performed. For the literature review, so where the fact come from? As this far, I have really studied 27 references by the book, journals and articles. So in this presentation, I will cite a few citations that become the main idea for this project. Firstly, the title of the article is Flood and Flash Flood Geohazard in Malaysia by Buslima in 2018. The researcher stated, flooding is a phenomenon that affects many individuals around either mental or physical. Flood can be also destroy assets and properties as well as cause a massive loss. The victims needed to produce mitigations and prevent the flood disaster. The second article is about a review on traditional water purification methods used in rural area by Chaurasia and Tiwari in 2016. The researcher stated the local traditional water treatment expertise emerged and spread among rural populations, resulting in water supply sources. Filtration is the only convenient procedure employed by rural residents. The third literature review is Understanding the Relationship of Land Use and Water Quality in 21st Century. The author of this article is Giri. This article was done in 2016. This research is mainly on depth examination of land use and water quality. This is extremely beneficial for all countries, but particularly for emerging countries with poor water quality. Moving on to methodology. For the methodology, the project flowchart has been created. In the flowchart, there was a designing phase, material selection, and project testing. If the project works properly, the result will be taken. The result of this project is the filtered water through the system. The water sample will be sent to do the water quality analysis to determine the quality of the water. If the project is not working properly, the project will be tested again with different ideas. Let's talk about the preliminary results. The first sequence of filtering layers is shown in table 3.1 along with the results. The thickness of the filter layers is insufficient. The pebbles and gravels are the heavier substances and compressing the layers of cotton and coconut fiber. After compacting, the coconut fiber and cotton layers become too thin. Additionally, the sand layers were not compacted properly, resulting in the sand layer mixing with a layer of charcoal. The muddy water was then poured into the filtering system. The outcome was unexpected. The filtered water was not clean. This is due to unclean sand. After many times pouring the water into the system, the water gets cleaner and clearer. than it was initially. The second sequence of layers for the filtering system is shown in table 3.2. The order of filtering layers was altered and each layer's thickness was raised and compressed precisely. The layers are not blended with one another. Additionally, more sand was added to increase the efficiency of the filtration process. After pouring muddy water into the filtering system, the first outcome was identical to the first model. After repeatedly pouring water into the filtration system, the sand was cleaned and the water became more cleaner and clearer compared to the previous model result. In conclusion, more water supply is essential for the flood victims in the flood evacuation center. This traditional water filtration system will be useful for them and it also will be act as an emergency water supply system in the evacuation center. For Bachelor Degree Project 1, the Gantt chart was prepared and the project flow was done according to it. For Bachelor Degree Project 2, the Gantt chart was prepared earlier to determine the initial planning for the project. The last slide is about references. Here are some references that I used to gain knowledge and ideas based on my project. That's all from me. Thank you for your attention.